Chapter 8 of Tanya. Shelosh klipos HaTemeos. That which is halachically forbidden, asur, is literally tied down amongst the three utterly unclean klipos, never to be elevated. Okay, so remember before, when, let's say we ate not L'Shem Shamayim, and we were just like a bit indulgent. And what happens is, let's say we go and pray and we learn, eventually the energy of the food is used toward Kedusha. So eventually the holiness of that food and the sparks get released. And of course, if you do tshuva, also the releasing of those sparks take place. But not so with the three unclean klipot from the forbidden foods. Even if you learn Torah, and even if you're going to use the energy, L'Shem Shamayim, in your prayers, there is the negative energy that will be trapped within you until either Yom Kippur and until the day of final repentance up in the heavens above. And in this chapter it goes into all kinds of details, like if you sinned with coldness, then the coldness of type of experience in the afterlife, that you go through a river of, I don't know if I want to talk about this really, like if you did a sin with like the heat of the passion, then the soul gets cleansed through like a heated cleansing system. But more I want to focus on the fact that when we do give in to these things of the pleasures and indulging energies, we know that it comes from like a Jewish Yetzer Hara, but too much of that then can create a non-Jewish type of Yetzer Hara that will then make you start lusting for things that are the unholy or the things that are impure. So we just have to notice where we are engaged in indulging behaviors and be more cognizant that that may be connected why you may be more prone now to other kinds of sins like Lashon Hara or what have you, that are really forbidden deeds. And in the Tanya, it actually talks about the fact that another very important aspect is your speech. So that the more you speak idly, then you're gonna, God forbid, acquire a type of lusting for speaking even negatively and speaking, God forbid, Lashon Hara. And so another aspect of this chapter is the more we will diminish our, talk of idle speech, the more we'll have control over negative speech that is forbidden. I remember learning that if you're going to speak, you want to make sure that your peh, which equals 85, is coming from like a very holy place of chesed and ahava, which is also the gematria for the numerical value of chesed and ahava is 85, which is also the numerical value for your mouth, peh. And I remember also learning that peh ra, which is the word for the bad mouth, is the same letters of Pharaoh, Paro. So that we really want to be careful how we use our speech so that we don't become enslaved by the pera, of the pharaoh of our mouth. And it really does make such an impact on our soul, and we don't want to, entrap our soul. We want to do every deed we can to redeem it. So if we can really be careful and pay attention to how we speak. Even something so beautiful is, I love you, which is Ani Ohevet Otach, which equals the gematria of the Shekhinah. Really, like when we use our mouth, we have to see that the Shekhinah will be between us. Because, again, Ani Ohevet Otach is the gematria for Shekhinah Beinehem. So when I use my mouth to speak beautifully and positively with the other, I allow the Shekhinah to be between us. And you remember, when the Shekhinah is between us, then another word for Shekhinah is Esh Ochelet Esh, so that the unholy fire will be eaten up by this very holy fire of the Shekhinah. So that's like an added bonus of, like an extra SOS help from above to help really diminish that negative within us. Another thing about this chapter is also the fact that when we learn things that are not L'Shem Shamayim, it has an effect on our mindset. And in the next video, we'll go more into that.